Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Tuesday, the 21st of January, 2020, and I am your host, Shozen, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, Bogul. Bogul, how are you? And are you ready for what we have in store for the audience today?
Yes, sir. I am. I'm doing good. I just saw a tiny thing I need to switch. Boop. I did that. But now I'm ready to go. Let's do this. What is on the show today, Shozen?
Well, we've got a lot. We're going to be starting with hopefully some live action, as I have been talking with the guys of Blue Army, and they are currently set to defend themselves against any attackers at 18 UTC. It is going to be hard to get permission from some of these guys to give, I don't know, like us permission to show it live. I mean, it's not easy to get that. This is live. This is not on delay. So we've talked to Robin Hooders, and he says if there is an attack, we can watch. And for the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to try to look around, because I've heard there's going to be an attack somewhere by someone attacking someone else.
So is it just Blue Army defending their zones they captured yesterday? Because yesterday we looked briefly at that area that is just to the east of the center of the map. And they put down 3 hideouts, I think.
Yeah, they did. It's not just Blue Army in there. It's a couple of squawkers, as we have Aggressor, Black Order, and Blue Army. That would be like the main EU force right now of Squawk. Not too bad. Right now, they've got a lot of guys there defending this place. I'll tell you that. If you were one of those guys who wants to get in there, it's going to be fun for you. Good luck.
So you're saying there might not be an attempt to...
There might not be, but I have it on good authority that BA is not just going to sit around and wait for content.
Oh, okay. So let's see how we can keep this spontaneous to when we have action jump over there. And... if so, then we will do.
Bogul, we instantly have some haters in chat upset that we are indeed watching Blue Army. Here's the deal, guys. If we can get anybody else at all to say that it's okay for us to watch them, we will, as we did yesterday when we hopped on Skill of Poe and CIR for about 20 minutes as well. He hasn't given me permission today to follow him. If he did, I'd be on him. I can't just show you Syndic. That would be rude, telling somebody where they are without delay. I'm just not going to do that, Bogul. That's the whole reason why we got to get permission. This is live. So Bogul, while we're waiting for some action to start, why don't we talk about some of the things that we did have in store for players today? Like, let's tell them right off the bat what happened with hideouts. There was a little bit of a snafu, would you say, at reset this morning when the server went live?
Yeah. People discovered that apparently right after the server came back up from maintenance, their hideouts were ready. They were completed. They were not waiting to be vulnerable again during the battle time, how it is supposed to happen. But instead, they were fully built. And then the dev said, emergency maintenance, let's fix that. And in the meantime, after I think half an hour or so of maintenance, they came up with a solution that is sort of temporary until they can do it, I think, tomorrow.
I think it's going tomorrow with it's tomorrow's hot fix. It'll go with the server downtime, I believe. So what happened is they basically took a shield off of everybody, which means once you have a shield off, you are actually vulnerable during your attack time for 20 minutes. The exact same situation that you would be in had you just put your home plot down yesterday. So gameplay-wise, nothing is changing except for one thing. Everybody received a mail that said they were under attack.
That's scary.
Yeah, I would be scared too. I'm like, wait, what? I lost a shield last night? How is this even possible? I just placed it down yesterday, the very first day of this. This isn't fair. But they fixed it. Ish. And now we're trying to warn you as much as possible. And as a sorry for this situation, I'm going to do what I do best, Bogul. You know the answer to this.
Raffles.
We're going to do a raffle right now, right off the bat, while Bogul tells us a little bit about where he noticed where some of these guys are living. Because we did look around this morning, and we got some idea of where everybody was living. And we have, first things first, we can tell you where Squawk is kind of living out of. Do you want to do that?
Sure, okay. So we spent some time, we tried to get information from this huge new map that came with Queen. Yesterday we already saw the first guilds and alliances place down their first hideouts. We already showed the, just east of the center, we already showed the Squawk area, so to say. And then we went looking around in the vicinity and, tried to figure out where people are, but it's not that easy actually. So the only way we could figure out how to do it is you basically have to click a zone and then you see the place down hideouts. And then we, clicked through 200 something zones and tried to see where people are. I just mentioned Squawk, slightly east of them, southeast, I would say, is what looks to be Po area. They are a little bit spread out, but I think 3 zones south, with no direct connection, but it has Goyatal, it has Hammer and Sickle, it has Varanga, it has, I think further south, even Crimson Imperium Reborn. So these
Crimson
guys
Imperium
are very close.
Reborn has 2 hideouts, actually. I noticed that if we look at our notes, we found them twice on the map. So there are a few, I don't know, guilds that are already preparing for, the worst case scenario, if you will, or maybe even just saying, you know what, let's grow our presence, establish a greater control of the world. I mean, because, I'm going to be honest, I actually thought we would see guilds put down 3 hideouts, maybe 4. In their main one, and then at least in the outer ones as like protections.
I know that Black Order
they are just doing 1.
I know that
it's just crazy.
I think a bunch of the Valen Alliance did. By the way, Valen Alliance sort of settled further east from the Squawk and PoE guys, around just north of Merlin's Rest, or I think east of Merlin's Rest, somewhere in that vicinity at least. And these guys, the Valen Alliance already has, I think, 1 zone they had 5 hideouts placed down, and then they just went, through all the directions, and then I think they have 5 there and then 5 in the surrounding zone. So they were like, all right, that's our heartland. Let's put our foot there, and let me find that zone so I can show it.
One of the nice things, Bogle, I do like how they've clumped all the names of these zones together. We did find it easier to roam around the map and actually look at territory just a little bit, because I could say, Bogle, it's in such and such a place, and you would at least get within 2 zones of Murder Gulch.
I found the zone from Valen Alliance, that's Timber Slope Bridge, and it has Vikings of Albion, Dutch Squad, Fabelhaft, Zorn, and Icon in it, which is, that's, to break that one is going to be tough.
That's got a lot of guys. Oh my God.
You mentioned the same names, right? So you have Timber Slope Bridge, you have Timber Slope Grove, you have to the next of it Swiftlands, Plain Basin, and what's the word? Chaparral. What's a chaparral? Anyways,
we'll have to Google it.
That is one of the interesting things about the zone naming, that you kind of sort of know now where stuff is. So time for us all to learn it, huh?
It's going to be interesting to learn this entirely new map, and it has been taking us a little bit of time so far. But you know what I'm going to do right now, as I do see our boys are moving out, so we might have action in just a little bit. Let me draw a couple entries, and why don't you talk about one of the other big guilds that we had seen, because we've been talking about Arch a lot, right? We knew that Arch was going to go to Bridgelock. They were going to make some big moves over there.
To where?
And I keep doing it. They're not going to Bridgewatch. They're actually going to Martlock. Those 2, ever since Bridgelock, that guild, the words don't work anymore. It's like the bed bunk gang. There's no such thing as a bed bunk. It's a bunk bed, Bogle.
Yeah, but we looked around.
They went to Martlock.
And it looks like Arch is settling on the far, far west.
Yeah, they are.
Just like
I thought
America.
they were really going to be like early reports were that they were
Hmm.
going to be remaking Afghanistan in the deserts of this new continent, which they did not do. They seem to have gone for something that seems to be a little bit more mixed. It's got a lot more options for them. They didn't go right for the center of the game, which I kind of expected them to do. To be honest, I expected Arch to, with their 35 guilds, to put a real solid push into the center of the map.
Hmm.
They didn't yet, and so what was expected to be a very powerful force in this game seems to be somebody who's maybe waiting for things to unfold, or
Why
maybe
not?
I overestimated them.
I mean, it's always good to see how a situation develops before you risk, not everything, but before you risk your assets. So maybe it's just a slow creep over towards the center over time.
Hmm.
And at least I haven't seen Awful Company. So if Chad knows where Awful Company put down their hideout, kindly let me know. But I haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
them yet.
in one of the 300 zones that we've been clicking around the map to find. One Bogul's going clockwise, I'm going counterclockwise. It was fun. But we have two winners right now, and I'm going to pull a third. Right now, we got three winners. Tool Undertow, Zarj, Zart, Arch. We're just going to call him Arch with Z's on both
Hmm.
sides. Arch with Z's. Emperor Celesi. Sure. You guys have won the raffle, the first ones. Go ahead and contact me through Twitch. Not, yeah, Twitch right here. Whisper me, and I will get back to you guys at the end of the show. I actually, if you guys won yesterday, I'm sorry I have not sent out the codes yet. They will be going out this afternoon.
All right. Who else did we find? We found Valon in the far
Mm-hmm.
east. We found Squawk just east of the center. We found PoE south of them.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
We found the Sea Alliance actually putting in a lot more players down than I expected. If you go to
Who is the Sea
Timberstar
Alliance?
Cops, that's the Southeast Asia Alliance.
Oh.
They're the group that has always complained that they don't get any time slots. Well, guess what? They've established one, and they put their guys down, and I'm really glad to see it because we had 5 different guilds from
Hmm.
Sea established hideouts this morning. To me, that's kind of cool.
And notice the important word establish.
Yeah.
So that means they have finished their second construction phase, and
Mm-hmm.
their hideout will now be invulnerable until the first or second, I think, of when does season 8 start? I think on the first. Might be on the second. Anyway, right at that time when you can actually start to conquer the territory towers and then start to launch attacks. But until then, they establish themselves, which is interesting.
I take that back, Bogle. I found 7 of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's really good for an alliance that I didn't expect a whole lot of. I expect that from Squawk. I expect that from Ego. By the way, Ego, Bogle, where did we find Ego? I mean, I know that Ironborn put down 2, right?
Hmm. I have to look in the notes. I don't even remember. Ironborn. And I saw one from Ironborn in Skysand Ridge.
White Bank Wall. Yeah, that was one. And then Sky Sand Ridge is the other one. Those are the 2 locations, 3 UTC and 5 UTC, respectively.
That
And
is just between. It's basically the north, just a little bit south of the north, the
mhm,
Skysand Ridge one. And there, the interesting thing is that next to that Ironborn hideout is a Savage hideout. And I don't think Savage is in the Ego Alliance, or at least I don't think they are friends. So that's an interesting zone to watch. And the other one was White something. Shozen?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get White Bank Wall. Sorry, I'm looking at the action about to unfold to see if we're going to actually get this
Mm-hmm.
hideout battle to unfold, and it's getting close. Like I have to be very careful with these things. You don't want to give out live positioning of people, then they don't let you follow them again. Oh, yo, eyes on Syndic. I just got permission from Skill.
From Skill.
Yeah, Skill is one. W.
3, tell me if not. Otherwise, I'm going
Let me
into.
make sure. I'm
All
gonna
right, all right,
go
all
to
right.
him first.
All right.
Like you don't go there without keeping eyes. Okay, yeah, they're still positioning. I want to give them a little while, but Syndic will be on his battle mammoth. I don't think I'm giving away too much on that one, guys.
All right.
But they are getting prepared. So both sides, uh, squad or squawk and Poe are getting ready to go at it again. This is 2 days in a row. We've seen these two guys go at it in these time zones, and it's been good to see. I like seeing fights between two big powerhouses, and I believe we will see this for the whole season. I do not believe either one of these two teams can knock the other ones out. All right, Robin Hood is saying on him now. So go to Robin Hood now. And
oh no, shit! I just went to Zendik.
It's not that. Trust me, it's not that big of a deal. He's in the middle of a bunch of dudes.
Oh my God.
They know where he is. Robin Hooder says on him. I don't see. Oh, now I see the blob appearing. All right, yeah, that's two different zones we've got battles in, guys. We might get to see two different fights happen at the same. And it looks like right now Robin is running to defend that hideout because it is being assaulted right now. There is an attack on top of it, and people are dying. I don't have permission to follow whoever is over there, so I can't do that. We will wait until Robin gets over there. He is on his way. He is riding as fast as he can while still hitting every mob along the way.
I wanted to ask, because it's 15 past the battle start time, so they're very close. They need like 4 minutes to finish the construction.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen on either side today. I did not see a force capable of even challenging what had been brought by Poe in Poe's territory. I'll be honest, if they had it locked down. Then we saw Squawk leave to go towards Poe. Then Poe came in the back door, and it recalled the big Squawk forces, or at least that's what I saw as I was watching around. I can't be exactly sure because I'm not in comms. I don't know what the exact calls were. But as I watched them move around the different zones, that is what it looked like to me. And it looks like a real easy cleanup here, but it did what it needed to do. This was a perfect distraction by Syndic to get the large Squawk force that was about to go in and raid them. I would say they had a lot more than 5 minutes when Squawk was about to go in to Poe's territory.
So are you saying that PoE faked an attack to distract Luami from trying to attack on the other side? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, when I look at the numbers that were involved by Poe here from Pretz, it wasn't enough to make a legit defense, like a legit attack attempt. I mean, they got to the tower. I mean, the hideout. They did do. Can you hop off Robin, please? He's no longer fighting.
Whoop. All right.
Thank you. I'm going to go back and check out Syndic just to check it out. I don't believe there is a fight there. Like I said, it was impressive. Oh, I'm wrong. There is a fight here. There is an absolute fight here. Black Order is fighting Imperium Reborn. Hop on Syndic now. He is cleaning this up. This was a much more real fight. I think we got baited is what just happened. Oh, boy. As it's definitely aggressor, Black Order. This is still a significant amount of Squawk, but I don't think it's going to be enough to put down Syndic's forces here. And this isn't even in their zone. They met them halfway between the two home zones, I guess. I don't really know what to call these territories now when they have 3 hideouts in them. It's like a centralized location of some sort.
I'm having a hard time seeing the exact battle formations. I'm zoomed out as much as I can. We know that the blob, both groups is fairly huge. So there is definitely more around there. There is 3 battle moments on the field, maybe 4.
Well, one thing that we can do is we can look at the debuff, and that gives us an idea of how many people are in the zone. Currently, Poe has a 33% debuff. Now, I'll go ahead and hop on Nuz here. See what his debuff is, and it is 9%. 9 versus 33%, I think I said.
How much is that? I think it's like 100 and something versus 450.
Not that many.
Yeah.
I do not have a great feeling for these squawkers. I feel like
Where are they? Can we say where they're fighting, or is that not?
I'd rather not,
Okay.
not with live fights. We'll say it's somewhere between their two hideouts. And
Oh,
Robin Hood is saying hop on him once again. So let me see what's happening on Robin Hood. There might be a better fight.
also the cluster queue just got activated, so that
Mhm.
is an indicator of more things to happen.
Oh,
Potentially.
Robin Hood just entered the zone. I believe that's what happened here as another Squawk army has entered the same zone we see, and they are up to 28% as the smart cluster queue has just kicked in and even out these two
Do you want me
very
to hop over
large
to
forces.
Robin or stay on Syndic?
Hop and Robin, we just watched Syndic for a little bit. We'll hop between the two because they're both giving permission at the moment, and I want to give the team that just came in after doing a defense, got here real quick, and now they're on their way to put down this large force of Poe. They evened out these forces. It could be great. Right
There's
now,
so much
it looks
red.
like
Oh my god!
it looks like Squawk is being annihilated here. Wow,
Do you see
I'm
the
sorry,
group?
guys.
The group HP points.
Mhm. Wow. Good luck, guys. On both sides. I'm just glad to see the fight. Syndic is right on top of Robin Hooders. He is really, really good with that mammoth. I keep telling the guys from Squawk that if they want to fight these battles like this day in and day out, they need to start bringing themselves some ballista onto the field, take control of these battle mammoths, to at least put some fear in them, because right now Syndic is just in the heart of the Squawk forces, and they're winning this fight. They're winning it handily.
There's a
And I
question
believe
from
we're
chat. What the?
going to need a new target soon.
Oh, chat is asking what a mammoth does. It basically, you see the area around it, the big elephant thing. It buffs all your allies, so it gives them more defenses and even some other nice things. So these are
Robin
very.
Hooders is down. We can go to Syndic now, who is currently winning this fight.
Let me prevent a Syndic. I had to hop off, otherwise we will get the world tour.
The world tour, the
And
grand
we're
world
back
tour.
on Syndic.
And we're not going to watch too much more of this as he drives them out. As soon as this fight is over, we will get off in this, and I believe that will be the end of our live war report for the day. We might talk a little bit more about what's going on the map, but we're going to try to get to Queen notes. We're going to get to a bunch of new news. We've got a lot on the show today, and more raffles, of course. But we did want to show you some live action since we had it.
Nice.
It looks like there's another engage about to be made, so we will stay on this just a few moments longer. I do not want to stay on this long enough for people to figure out where it is and go there.
It just jumped. Oh god, this is like a huge.
The smart cluster queue just kicked in again, and another wave of Squawk just zoned in, as it's the Black Order guys who just died have now rezoned and come back.
Ooh, it's a Scoia'tael.
This is going to be interesting if this is what keeps happening every day, because these two large forces are just a couple of zones from each other, and they can get reinforcements back into the fight before the cluster queue kicks in again. This is going to be fun.
Oh yeah,
guys, go get yourself some hideouts. You could be experiencing this same kind of gameplay. By the way, this zone is full. How's the performance?
It's all right. It's all right. It's jumping a tiny bit, but it's not super bad.
It's super playable. I have my graphics turned all the way up, Bogul. I've got my shadows on.
I think
I've got off-screen name tags on.
Nice.
I got everything on, and it's running real good. Now, Spaniard's saying there are some performance issues. Absolutely. We just had a huge, gigantic patch. Bogul, do you not have HP bars on?
Apparently
Put the
not.
HP bars on. I told you about this yesterday.
Things,
all right.
Interface.
Yes, we know there are a lot of issues. We are currently working on them. The biggest issue I have found so far, because I've been answering questions from players all day as I, hype this show in GM and chat. There's a good fight going on. But the biggest issue, guys, Windows 7. If you have it, upgrade. No, like for real. It's time. Round of applause to all the guys who held out through the free Windows 10. round of applause to all the guys who said there's too many problems with Windows 10. I'm still holding out. Round of all applause to the guys who are still running HP Pavilions from 1996 with 32-bit, processing. Round of applause. But it's time to upgrade. And our game isn't going to run on Windows 7. XP, maybe? I don't know. I don't think so. But it looks like it's time to upgrade. And it's not our fault. We didn't do it. They stopped upgrading Windows 7. And then when we upgraded, our latest background to match all the network protocols and everything jazzy like that, Windows 7 PCs started having issues. You can't zone out of banks. You can't zone out of markets. You get all sorts of stupid nonsense.
I think they're working on some sort of solution, but I don't know how. Yeah. There is an announcement on the forums about that. And as soon as that fight is over, I think we can cover that briefly because we're 20-something minutes in. And I think we need to look at the hideouts, whether or not they got destroyed before we move off of this show then.
I still want to watch this, Bogul. Look at that cam land, the follow-up. Oh, that was some nice meatballs coming from this guy. I like seeing this. All right. I think, Bogul, I don't know how much longer we can do this.
Yeah. I don't know. Where did they move the HP bars? Chat.
Okay. Oh, my God. Bogul. So, in case anybody's wondering, the reason Bogul does not use HP bars is because he doesn't go out into the actual world of Albion. He, I believe it's
True, yes. Haven't left Carl in the last 3 months. So, are you telling me how to play my game?
No, I would never do such a thing. That would be a terrible thing to do. You go down to interface name tags. Under name tags is there's 6 different check marks. You want the ones for actually 9 other players. Yeah. You don't need your own.
All right.
This is a really good back and forth match, and I think it's got a lot to do with that smart cluster queue. That was one of Bogul, how would you feel if we went through a couple of our pieces of information that were relevant to this and left this on the background while I monitor it and we talk about like the smart cluster queue and
sure. I mean, that's one of the times we saw it in action, and we've seen it in action yesterday as well. We even got to talk briefly to Robin Hood. Oh, that was a jump. We got to talk to Robin Hood briefly yesterday, explaining that the way of entering the cluster when you are queued isn't that super easy, question mark. Do you remember how it works? Because I already forgot. It's basically you have to demount and wait next to the entrance of the zone and then look at the thing. So you can't just stand there and go AFK and get a drink. You have to sort of see when it says to enter the zone and monitor that. But I haven't seen it in action yet, so I need somebody to do a video and then I can show it. But yeah, Smart Cluster Queue in action. It is already over. It doesn't say on the top of the screen anymore. But are they pushing them out? Are they winning? What's happening?
No, it's going back and forth. Right now, we see Poe is putting forth a slight push, but that was after Squad had a fairly significant push. Both teams lost players, but nothing that was a deciding interaction. Hopefully we will have a report on these fights in the next coming days. I will actually be talking to hop off this fight, please. He's not fighting now. Just hop off. Again, because this is live, guys, as soon as the engagements stop, we stop showing it because we don't want to show people maneuvering. We're trying to do this as fair for you guys as possible. We appreciate everybody who lets us watch. But you know how it is. We cannot show you guys people's maneuvers, especially when I'm showing somebody against the guild that I'm associated with too much. You know what I'm saying?
How are you
I'm associated with BA.
How?
I'm associated with BA. I was in BA for a while.
Okay.
I was in Money Guild for a while. I was in a lot of guilds for a while. I was in Conflict. I've been in a few guilds. I was even in Zorn. But
I just went back to Carlin. I
do not want to show anything that could be considered, helpful for those guys. Absolutely not. So
But I
let's
think
show BA and their maneuvers to help Syndic. No, just joking. Go ahead.
Darkborough Snag, the BA the Squawk zone, has apparently 2 out of 2 defender points, so it looks like Blue Army was able to hold their territory and defend that. Thunderrock Ascent doesn't have a territory. Thunderrock Dew also does not have a territory, which is interesting. It's, very close to the center. It doesn't have a hideout. And let's see, where is PoE? Down here somewhere. Let's see if they managed to secure it. River Corps Found has 2 out of 2 for all 3. So they managed to secure that as well. And it looks like they're just battling it out for the rest. They didn't lose any, unless I'm mistaken, chat. Then correct.
All right. I will say this. We're not going to follow this fight anymore, but I will let you guys know that it has re-engaged. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to take a sidestep here, Bogul. I know we had planned to get through notes today.
Sure.
But one of the things I've noticed, I just want to talk about this, is that the performance has been amazing. I know I talked about it yesterday, but like as somebody when I first started coming to do live shows with these guys, it was for the invasions, which is the zones would fill up, it would turn to stutter vision, and one of the things that I would always do is call them out on it. I would say, look at the slideshow, Bob. Yeah, we could call it playable. It's called time dilation.
That's a different game. I don't think
but I've been making fun of that for the 3 years I've worked here. Now I'm really impressed and I'm really, really happy with it. And if we can turn this server improvements into battles like we just saw between 2 powerhouses of Poe and Squawk fighting back and forth in the same zone, a dungeon zone, which is traditionally not one of the best zones to fight in because of all the NPCs.
Dungeon zone.
Yeah, like the above ground dungeon zones. The one we were just in has that big that.
No, now that you said that word, I'm trying to figure. Was that River Corps Path?
But like when you're in one of the in one of those, it hasn't always had a raid zone. Thank you, Fun Stealer. That's the proper title for those zones. But it hasn't always had the best server stability, and people have gone out of their way to not fight there. But we just saw 3 different reinforcements from Smart Cluster Q work.
Cool. I'm happy too. I'm just I'm sorry if I'm not that excited, but it's awesome, of course. I'm just trying to see whether or not there's any objectives that people, lost during that engagement, or if it's just trashing and working on bleeding the other group out, because I think that's an interesting war that we will see. This might turn into a war of attrition over the next few days, because I'm pretty sure these guys will go at each other pretty regularly, maybe. And then it's an interesting challenge how you can secure your gear, and if you're actually creating gear in that zone, or if you're still moving it, because right now I think everybody's still shipping it over. And there's no real way to produce yet, and I don't think they took over too much. It might be different tomorrow, but at least for today, all of that stuff got moved just before. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just taking care of some background stuff I need to get taken care of. My apologies. And you know what time it is, Bogul? Time for another raffle. What I'm going to do before I do that, before I archive this, I'm going to once again announce the previous winners. They're announced in chat. If you see your name, go ahead and message me. It's Arch with Z's on both sides, Undertow, and Emperor Selassie. I'm going to go with that one. And that's archived. I'm going to create the raffle now. So all you guys who just hit raffle need to do a thing called re-entering. Let's get to those PSAs, those chat notes, those very beginning pieces that we said we would do after we watched the fight. Get through that. Then I guess we could go to overtime, Bogul, because I think we covered a lot of the pieces that we wanted to talk about today, except for those very specific notes.
Right. We usually try to cover news on this very show. We try to see where the developers post interesting things, what we might have or what you might have missed if it's just on the forums, and bring that to your attention so you at least know about it. It's probably very likely going to be on the forums anyway, but if you're not a forum digging type, then you can just, follow the show, listen to us talk about all the hotfixes, important comments, and all that jazz. One thing that happened 9 hours ago with today's maintenance was the first hotfix patch. It is a fix for a few things. I saw earlier that somebody asked whether or not they had fixed the bug with the farm animals yet, and apparently that went live today, where grown farm animals were converted into baby animals. Apparently there was also an issue with the Crystal League UI, and some royal cities had the appearance of mounts flying on top of chests, which looked weird, and that got removed. And
what?
A bunch of localization small fixes. I saw when you logged into the game earlier that you couldn't see your island name in there. But that is also fixed.
Yeah, guys, there's a lot of little bugs that have made their way in, and everybody's gonna be working their proverbial tukuses off to get it completely fixed for you as soon as possible. I can't give you an estimate of when it will happen because I don't think we even know of all the little bugs that made their way in yet. I spent all morning talking to players about their issues, and they were extensive. But I also heard a lot of people are having fun. Who's been having fun? And we didn't even talk about it when we were talking about the map. Arrow 404 has a couple of hideouts today. But you know what else they have?
A season win?
Yeah, they do. I don't know how much we talked about this. Yeah, I know we talked about it a little bit, but they deserve some credit for that. Mm-hmm. They did really, really well. They were a solo guild that balanced out their, gameplay in total and created a very balanced guild that did GVGs, ZVZs, Crystal GVGs, and rocketed up the charts and won the season. Now, they have produced a season victory video, one of the best I have ever seen. Now, I'm biased, guys. You know that. I was in BA. We won 3 seasons. We had a friend of mine make the videos that I like. This one's better. And we're going to play it with sound, which means we could have issues. But we're going to do it anyway because it was that good. So, let's do that, but let's make it happen for these guys.
All right. 3, 2. Let me switch the monitor and let's play that.
Ouais, le tank il est bombé, il est bombé, il est bombé, il est bombé. Excusez-moi, Kikiwi dans la tourmente. Est-ce que c'est d'accord pour le bloc? Oui, c'est le bloc de Kikiwi. K direct 47. Très bon ice block, très bon ice block. Il a que.
Et Kaga, Kaga.
Il y a un PV qui nique. shit. Here we go again.
Mais tu me donnes 5 souris, tu me donnes 5 claviers, 5 ordinateurs, je joue tout seul les 5 comptes, je bats la team.
Les gars, vous êtes sérieux? Il est Dan, nous, ta bouche. Qu'est-ce que tu fais ce soir là? I'm talking about, motherfuckers. Your fucking team sucks, Moloch. Suck my wiener. Is YouTube cool with that? Suck my wiener. Mamma mia! Fuck you, Moloch. Don't talk to me.
Look at the clouds, look at the moon! Baker! What was that? Attention, on va check le backup. 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 Attention! Kiki Mamou! Attention!
Wow.
Yeah, that was too good. I'm really impressed by the effort they put into that one. Molek, you guys did great. Hajime, you did fantastic. But that video, I think that took more effort than winning the season. That was... I'm impressed. Like, well, I'm the guy who left his guild for like a week to make a forum post. So I appreciate putting in more effort than you need to for something. I do. I understand this. I like it. I like it when it succeeds like this, because anybody who sees that video is going to go, okay, I get it. Good job, guys. You won the season. Fantastic. Get all uptight if they don't just get thrilled, because that was too good. Hate on that all you want, but
Definitely
definitely content.
Yes.
All right.
You see it on screen, by the way. Arrow 404 now is an alliance. They sort of have their previous merger, Red Elite, removed from them, and Frostforge joined the R404 alliance as well. And that seems to be one of the new French power blocks that we, I think, see in somewhere in the east. I'm not quite sure.
We will be discussing that very soon, actually, on the air. I have an interview with Karfa. Yeah, we'll be discussing that alliance and the changes of power and how it came about. So look forward to hearing that, guys. I hope you enjoy
Do you
that.
know
It'll
when
be,
it will air it yet? Or?
I'm guessing Friday, because I want to get it out while it's still close to the end of the season. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a top 10 rundown with Mojo and Chris, aka Sucks. And then we will have on Thursday, we will have Shiro.
Emiya Shiro of Black Order, yeah.
Yes, and he declared war. I mean, you can already see that he's declared war on Poe. sorry to bury the lead, but it's going to happen again on Thursday. He's going to redeclare war. It was a good interview. I enjoyed it. Yeah. No, he'll speak English. He does speak Russian to his interpreter. He actually brought along a friend to, like, he put in effort. I've been trying to get a second interview with this guy for literal years, literally years. He was one of the first ones I did. He was willing to come on if I allowed Mojo and an interpreter to come on, and I said, yeah, sure. Mojo helped fill in a lot of the information that I didn't know about this guy and asked some really good questions. I was actually impressed by Mojo's questioning of Shiro because he knew him and he knew the things that would bring out some good stories, and we got some good stories. Him and Derek, why he's going after Poe, a few good things. His relationship with Mojo is explained a little bit. I think you guys will enjoy that interview for sure. And like I said, the Arrow 404 one is also excellent.
All right. Let's see. We do have some more notes on our theoretical bucket. I think we need to look through if we forgot any important PSAs or announcements. Everybody knows that Queen is out. We talked about the hotfix. We have to mention briefly that there is a known issues list that you might want to take a look at, and that just so you are aware that this exists. Let me show this on screen. Bloop. And in case you wonder if the bug is on there, then the bug you experience rather is on there, then you can check that out. The biggest one is that Windows 7 users may experience issues, black screen issues, and that is a severe one. They suggest the workaround, the immediate workaround of just using Windows 10. But still, that's a potential thing you might want to know. Also, there are apparently no Avalonian fishing rods on the Toolmaker. And there is some issues if you shift drag a stack onto a slot with another type of item, half of the original stack disappears. Now, I don't know if that's just the visual bug where you don't see your thing and you need to relog to see where it went, or if that's actually disappearing. I don't know. I hope it's the first one. It's just a visual thing, and I don't know, honestly. Other things is just the things that were fixed with the hotfix 1 that we talked about early. The other thing that sort of went under the radar a little bit, but that's important to mention nonetheless, is something that was in the news post with the Queen announcement, with the Albion's biggest ever update is here announcement. I will link that there. Boop, boop. It is not only the announcement of Queen, not only the new trailer that you saw at the beginning of the show, but it also has an offer, special first-time offer for first-time buyers of Premium. You get a nice Keeper horse mount skin, which you can then put in your horse pocket for everybody who saw Reddit recently. That's nice, but the big one that is relevant, I think, for a lot of people is that come January 29th, at the end of the month, before the new referral season, they will adjust the premium prices. Meaning
going up, Bogul.
That for 30 days, you'll have to fork out 3K gold, for 90 days, 3,750, 180 days, 1,375, and for 360 days, it's 24.5K, which is a significant difference overall, but Robin goes into explaining as to why that happens as well if you want to look in the forums. But that's just a warning in case you were looking at extending your premium. Maybe do it before the end of the month.
Yeah, try to get it as soon as possible, guys. This is a natural thing that does happen occasionally. Things end up costing more. I'm a big fan of meat, and meat keeps going up every year. The only thing that doesn't seem to go up in price in America is gas. So I'm used to paying more for basically everything. Gas, I don't understand it. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. It doesn't make any sense. And we pay less than anybody else in the world. I don't get it.
If you want to keep paying the same and use Steam, by the way, there is a mention of Steam information as well, how you can keep the lower price, because they will keep the previous premium price, I think, if you don't cancel your subscription or something like this. I have to be honest, I just saw that right before the show, so I didn't get to read all the details. I will just link it to you guys so you can take a look at that. And of course, there is the background information on why they adjusted the premium pricing by the game director of Albion Online, Eltharion, also known as Robin, the guy you saw talking in the Queen video a lot. Yeah,
that he'll explain it. I think it's probably better that he does it than I do it. I'll probably get something wrong. I'm not really good with PR speak. I think that as a CEO, he probably has it down by now. But I think it's time, Bogul, since we heard the news that premium is going up, maybe we should do something to help that and give out some raffles. Now, I have a lot of people in chat who were here yesterday who won and are a little upset that I did not get them their gold yet. I'm sorry about that. I was a little busy this morning. I know. Usually I do it right before the show. I had a little bit extra to do today as far as GM work. There have been a lot of bugs. I was trying to help everybody out of the zones they got locked in because they're still using Windows 7, which was really the freaking thing I was doing all day, was telling people you need to upgrade your Windows client to Windows 10 so that you can get the newest netcodes and play. But yeah, you guys will get your codes after the show. I will be making that my first order. But first, before anything else, let's draw some raffles. You have about 10 seconds to get in the raffle before I do pull the raffle.
All right, let's let me look if we have other very important news to show. Community news. It's see.
All community. Yeah.
We didn't show the Equart video, Shozen.
Yeah, that's part of the. We have two more pieces of community news that we need to do. We have the great fan art and a Quartz video. Let's do the. Because we're really running out of time here today. This is what I would like to do. I'd like to do the art, show that. We'll give a link to the Deviant art page. We'll say that it's really cool. We'll do some shout outs. We'll get out of here. And then we'll play two videos for them. We'll play a Quartz video followed by the trailer again. How does that sound?
Oh, trailer. I need to see if I can. But sure. All right. Let's see. Art. Boop. You might remember that one from Reddit. It was on Reddit. It's the guy with the axe and the hood. It was on Reddit, I think, a month ago-ish, if I remember correctly. We showed that on stream, and it was pretty cool. I didn't know who it was made by. I think it was something with an X. Let me find the name. I think Super X Onic, like supersonic, but with an X.
Supersonic. Supersonic is how I pronounce that.
Yeah.
I really like his art. I think he has some really cool ones. He has a whale coming through a black hole or some kind of nonsense.
But that's not Albion related, right? This one we knew of already. And then I think just a few days ago we saw that one, which is apparently a Blue Army fan art with a tricone. How do you call this show? Is it tricone with a triple crown? Explain this to me, because I don't know words in English that are. These are too hard.
That's a trident.
Trident.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
that's called it's a Blue Army cape. It's a Blue Army cape. No, Mojo looks dirtier. Scragglier beard. Maybe that's Maybe it is Mojo. Maybe somebody hardened him up a little bit.
Isn't that the artist's drawing of? I don't know who that is.
He's gonna be so mad at me later today when we do that interview. He's gonna hear that. Ooh, Valen just called BA out. That will be interesting. I'd like to see that.
Do I smell beef? Are you going to visit them over in the east soon? BA? Is that what I just read here?
Well, if you want to check something out, and this is kind of cool, go ahead and open the map real quick. I want to show this.
All right.
Go over to Blue Army Zone.
Zoom out. All right. Okay.
I'm going to hit the map too so I can follow right along with you here. Now, if you notice, they have a tunnel in that zone, right? You see that tunnel?
There, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now that goes all the way to Sunfang Wasteland.
Oh, that's a long distance.
Right, right. And then, like, that's only one territory away from Death Wisp Bog, which I believe is where Conflict lives over here, right?
Oh, up there, yeah.
Yeah. And then I believe that is just another one zone away. I could be wrong here. Okay, 2 zones away from where I believe we'll start seeing Valen and stuff, right?
Valen is all the way to the east.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry, that's
here.
1941 with the old Vibe guys.
Oh, Vibe and Take Care. Okay, that one.
Yeah, that's the old one. That's north, but that's not important because we're talking about Valen. I got confused as the locations. My bad.
All right.
But it does seem like those guys are about Blue Army and Lugsy and the boys are about as far away from each other as they possibly could be.
Yeah. I suppose we didn't talk about Take Care earlier, but I mean they have different time zones. So what they are, one of the groups who got to the center area. So we have Squad doing that, Squawk doing that. We have sort of Conflict doing that. We have Vibe doing, or 1941 now. And then over there, I see Nemesis from Arch also being in the center. And that's the only 3 alliances that have gone for a tier 8 center zone so far. Squawk, 1941, and at least 1 Arch Guild, which is interesting. I would have expected more. Yeah, but I think this whole territory conquest, who owns what, who goes where, who moves and maybe expands, will be a very interesting thing to keep a look at over time. And yeah, let's hope we can do that. We didn't show, which was very important, the page of that sir who made this art yet.
Oh yeah, hit up his DeviantArt page, because that actually has some really cool art on it. Maybe link it in chat so that people can see this. I was impressed by this guy, and he's doing Albion art. We have a few good Albion artists, and I'm happy to see them. I like our community, and I like the content creators in it, and I like the cool stuff that has started to really flow regularly from the community. It's making me happy. It's why I'm here.
Let me say his name was Luciano C. Luciano C. And it's deviantart.com/Luciano C.
Well, Luciano C is also Supersonic. They're the same guy.
Ah, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay. I believe. Okay. And I have that final raffle open. Let's go ahead and look at the shoutouts, Bogul.
Do we have any?
Yeah, we have 6 of them.
All right.
Apparently, I think the Ask Us Anythings might have run out. Albion News 24, Newbie is recruiting. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. If you're a new player.
Where did Newbie go? Do they have a zone even?
Yes, they do.
Where?
They have 2 hideouts.
Where?
Bogul. Between the 2 of us, I think we looked at about 225 zones.
Yeah.
There's some zones we missed.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the outside.
This area. We didn't look at the southwest yet. So
no, we didn't look at a lot of stuff outside. We kind of missed a lot of territories. We may have even missed a few in between spots. We're still trying to find a way to do this quickly, efficiently, and bring you guys the information in a way that you've become accustomed to. Okay, let me rephrase that. Better than you've become accustomed to. Okay, Newbie is recruiting. Yes. Does 3, 2, 1. Yay! Blue Army Online daily live show is on. It is. It is on. It's on like Donkey Kong. And if you noticed, we also hopped on Syndic over there because Skill, a member of Poe, has been contacting me the last 2 days and saying that we have permission to follow them during live fights if we only show the fight. Like I said, I'm trying my hardest to make sure I don't give away any additional information, and we're going to keep trying to do that for you guys. And we'd love for more of you guys to say, hey, we also fight during that time. We'd love to be on the show. You could follow us, and we will. we're not inclined to say no. Follow the train, CJ. After the Queen went live, I can't play mobile anymore. That sucks because my is broken and I was playing mobile.
Aw.
That sucks, CJ. I'm really sorry to hear that. Please go onto the forums. There is a mobile section for your phones, and you can say exactly what's going on with you, and somebody will help you out, because there is a guy whose job it is right now to fix the mobile issues and make sure that mobile works. So if you're having issues, he wants to hear from you, because the issues are how we fix the future issues. So contact him. Thank you.
I found Arch. I found Awful Company.
Jojo Loco 4 says, when will the grown farm animals be converted to baby animals bug be fixed? Do you know? This morning, during downtime, already happened. Hooney Boy shouts out Bogul. Shout out to Bogul!
Thank you, honey boy.
Cletus Van Dam. Son, boys, and girls, proud of you. Great work. I hear they have 4.
I found one earlier next to Arthur's Rest. I think south or White Wall Pass. No, one further south. I just saw it on screen. But 4.
Yeah, 4 sunplots. That's pretty awesome. I like the idea of having more than one, guys. Don't necessarily upgrade them all to tier 3. That's an expensive idea. That's probably not even the best idea.
They also managed to defend it, apparently. Battlebury Peaks, 18 UTC. Defender points 2. That's right next to Arthur's Rest. That's interesting. That's a good logistics location if you want to sell. Oh,
Frank's been doing this work for a long time. Are you thinking Frank didn't have a plan? Frank Sinatra had a plan on this, and I hope to hear more about it soon, because we do have in the pipeline, when the two of us, our times line up, Frank and I will be chatting about Sun's future and the Queen update in general, because this guy has been very interested in this patch and very interested in this game for probably longer than I have. So I'd love to talk to him. Old school fan to old school fan. Cletus Van Dam, shout out to you for making a shout out. Now, this is a weird one. I don't understand this one. Elsa AO shouts out 7 shout outs. That might be the weirdest one I've gotten.
It's a weird reminder that we're supposed to do shout outs.
7
of them?
Oh, shoot. Maybe he's saying 7 minutes until you guys got to do shout outs. Maybe he thinks we're meeting now and not in an hour, like he said. I don't know. Fun Stealer, shout out to asking what zone we're locked.
What? Do you mean us? Or which zones were locked?
What zones were locked? Oh, if you're wondering what zones were locked as far as Windows 7, is basically any marketplace you go into, you're going to get locked in there and not be able to get out. So if you have Windows 7, PSA, don't go to the marketplace.
I think it might be even in more places.
Oh, no, nuts to that. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what other zone you're talking about. My bad. Okay, I'm going to repeat this one again like I've been doing as I'm getting ready to pull the final raffle. We're at 63. We're almost there. I did not hand out the raffles this morning to people who won yesterday. I did not do it. I was helping people in-game fix their in-game issues, and I'm sorry. I will get you your gold after the show. I think that's a proper response to that. All right, we've hit the proper number. We have Pando Baron, who has won the raffle yet again. He's a cheater. I think it's fixed. And Husei, or Usei, tell me how to pronounce it if I'm getting even close. But he's one of our great streamers here. I think Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken. Well, no, I mean, he speaks Portuguese. I think he's Brazilian. I'm not sure. Somebody's got to tell me this. I'm always wrong on these things. If I can't understand what you're saying, I'm not going to get it right. Do we have any more shout-outs? Yes, we do. We have more because they just keep coming in. We went from 5 to 7 to 12. Blink USMC says, Mojo looks dirty. Shozen 2020. I believe the correct quote is Mojo looks dirtier than that.
Bubba Ruba says,
Rubba.
Bubba Rubba? Is that how?
Bubba Rubba.
PoE Alliance, best alliance. All right.
I like it. Go for it. I like when people have that, faith in their own grouping.
P3ST3K says, to the Reddit mods to unban me and ban Axion instead.
Which one of his 4 accounts should we ban? All right. Terra Draz. Hondal Spanish non-toxic guild is recruiting. Yes, they are. I believe I have an interview coming up with them very soon, and we will be discussing all things Hondal, which
doesn't
is
mean
not
chicken. It's
German
not
for
German.
chicken. Yeah,
No.
it's not the German
No,
chickens.
no.
It's which I thought it was, because that means chicken in German, and even I was confused by that. I took 1 semester of German, and I know about chicken. Hooney Boy shouts out, Bogul.
Ow, my ears.
Fun Stealer shouts out,
doing that.
you can follow me anytime. Oh, wait, bias EU caster, no NA show. All right. Fun Stealer, I'll do this for you because you're such a big fan of the show. I will come to work when it's not my time to work. I will 100% cast some EU time slots.
Whoops.
No, that's right. No, that's the answer. I think that's perfect. I'm done. No, I will do some NA time slots for you. You and I can talk later, and we will either watch you attack somebody or defend your plots. I'll make it happen. You guys are right. You deserve it. Elsa, Fun Stealer, stop spamming shoutouts. Elsa, please. Elsa, smiley face. Fun Stealer, I have all these points, though, Elsa, because I'm active listener and viewer. Elsa, Fun Stealer, that's very nice. Hope you enjoy your shoutouts. Fun Stealer, thanks. I hope you let it go. Thank you guys for tuning in to the AO Daily Show that you can tune into Monday through Friday right here on twitch.tv/Albion Online at 18 UTC. Yeah, like I said, Monday through Friday. We will also have in the future some really good coverage of the Crystal Realm 5v5s. See that? I didn't even call it GVGs. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and play some videos for you now, but we're out. You guys are awesome. See you guys next time.
Bye.
For our sake, I hope you're right.
This is a brutal...
There's an Avalonian invasion. They're killing the realm gates, and the players are just out here being fricks.
Get out of there, boys. I ain't going there. Let me back in. Oh, man.
We're here to just pop in and get slaughtered, yeah.
Uh-oh. Did they break through? Did they break through the Realm Gate? Guys, somebody tell me that there's Avalonians in the Realm Gate. Oh my god, no! And they are killing many more. Go to the Conqueror's Hall. It looks like much better odds in the Conqueror's Hall, guys.
Holy frick.
Hempbeard is down. Oh boy. At least we're seeing some good names here defending this great city of ours. This is a mess. Poor guys. But it looks like they are going down. We will see more Avalonians falling. Yeah, shout out to the real OGs hiding in the bank right now. You guys know what's right. You guys know what's right. You know how to stay safe. Get in the basement.
We enter in a new life. Let this world be alive.
The Queen update is a very ambitious endeavor.
Definitely the biggest update we've done so far.
An update at this scale is something that few MMOs have done.
We're basically changing half the world around
While being live, this was a huge task.
The pure content that we put into Queen is huge, and the amount of work that we put into it is huge.
It involves a lot of planning, a lot of coordination. The artists, game design, coders, operations, everyone has to really work together so everything will go smoothly.
We're redesigning the whole Outlands to make them more challenging and engaging.
We're introducing hideouts so that every guild has the ultimate freedom on where to base their home.
We want all players to be part of what it means to conquer territories.
Territory control will now be decided by large-scale open-world fights.
That will basically change the whole meta completely.
Crystal League is a new way for elite PvP players to compete.
There is a whole new faction we're bringing to the game.
The changes coming with the Queen update are in many ways redefining the foundation of Albion Online.
It really marks the start of a new era for Albion Online. The contents that became the Queen update go back a really long time. We've been discussing with players for a long time how the Outland gameplay of Albion can be improved. We collected ideas, we discussed with players on the round table, with players everywhere, how Albion could be moved to the next level, how we could elevate the Outland gameplay experience. And then half a year ago, we collected the team and decided that now would be the time to make these changes. And then we committed everyone to them and, well, set out on this big adventure.
With Queen, we are basically redesigning the entire Outlands so they are more balanced and more engaging.
Most of our players really live the dream of living in the game world, so this is what Queen is going to do for them. We are introducing hideouts, which will allow them to find a space anywhere in the Outlands, settle down there, build their own base, and then live from there.
And the new territory control system allows all players in a guild to participate in territory battles and for control of territories.
For the first time since the release, we're introducing a completely new faction to the game, the Avalonians.
Queen will definitely improve the quality of the experience for the players, just for the fact that we are much more trying to get everybody involved, much more trying to improve the systems in a way that we believe it was meant to be in the first place, like a real sandbox environment where everybody can meaningfully contribute to what is going on in the world of Albion.
With the new Outland design, we're really shaking up the entire gameplay experience of Albion Online, because the new Outlands follow a fundamentally different philosophy. We're focusing the entire conflict towards the center of the map.
The most important and most valuable areas are in the very center of the map, which means that everybody who wants to live there needs to ask themselves the question, do I want to be attackable from all sides? Can I hold this position? Can I build up my supply lines up to this point?
Now you will really have to fight to hold on to the best positions.
The options to base yourself in the Outlands has been very limited. There's been very certain points where you could do this. Now, with the addition of hideouts, we're allowing guilds to really choose where they want to be settled in the Outland.
Albion has always been about what player can do in the world. We have a player-driven economy, we have a player-driven world. We want to give our players as much freedom as humanly possible, and especially with this hideout system where we say, hey, just go out there and place yourself wherever you want.
So it doesn't matter if you cannot compete with the big players in the center of the Outlands, for example.
That also means that smaller guilds can have the freedom to be local powerhouses or regional powerhouses, which they couldn't be before.
The Queen update is a really great time for players to come back to Albion. It's an opportunity to get involved with Outland gameplay if you haven't before, and it's a completely fresh start in how you play the Outlands for veteran guilds.
With the Queen update, there's a lot more space for all sizes of guilds. There can be small guilds in the Outlands, there can be bigger guilds in the Outlands. And all your players can actually participate now and be meaningful.
Guilds will have to really reconsider their strategies with Queen. So first there's this complete new unexplored map they have to uncover. They have to consider where they want to place their bases, what territories do they want to claim. It will be a completely strategic, different game for all the guilds. And I'm really excited to see what all the guilds will come up with in terms of strategies for the new world. Territorial warfare has always been a huge part in Albion Online. It's an integral part that guilds fight other guilds about their chunk of the map.
We used to handle territory fights as a 5 versus 5 battle. And while this was a pretty cool system, it had the disadvantage that most players couldn't really participate in this, and it became a very elite sort of activity.
But we want to allow every guild member to actually have the feeling that they meaningfully contribute to their guild's success. So this whole system changes towards a large-scale open-world battle system.
This will basically change the whole meta completely.
The Crystal League is a rework of the previous Crystal Realm system.
Effectively, this allows 5v5 teams to sign up for Crystal Realm battles in this Crystal League. They just need a token for it.
And this can be bought at the season mages in the major cities.
And once you win in a Crystal League battle, your token gets upgraded, and depending on the level of the token, you at the end reap rewards which go as high up as battle mounts. Winning a Crystal League battle helps their guild because A, it gives them season points, plus B, if they sign up from a watchtower in a territory, this also upgrades that watchtower. That means that in this whole area there's more resources and the watchtower itself just becomes stronger.
Every player who wishes to now participate in competitive 5 versus 5 with full loot has a chance to do so through the new Crystal League system. With the new large-scale open-world fights, we had to think about how to handle the complexity of these fights, and we had to deal with the fact that we would have bigger battles than we had before.
It was our intention that just bringing the larger army does not necessarily ensure that you will win the fight.
Thus, we have devised 2 new systems that should limit this. Number 1 is the Zerg debuff.
The idea behind the Zerg debuffs is to introduce a trade-off for guilds, to make them think about how many players do they really want to bring versus how good are these players.
The larger your group is that you bring, the stronger the debuff will be on every individual.
Which effectively is like the inefficiency of a big army.
Zerg debuffs kind of act as an upper limit of what it makes sense to bring to a fight.
For us, it's a balancing factor to even let small groups shine in battles, because it's not anymore who brings the most people into the cluster. It's about strength or size. So yeah, small teams matter. Everyone matters.
We're still aware that battles may become larger than what the servers can handle, and therefore we're introducing the Smart Cluster Queue. The Smart Cluster Queue effectively is a queuing system for a region.
This Smart Cluster Queue determines how many people from each participating site in a battle can actually get into the cluster as it is.
We are still dynamically letting players from all sides in so that there's no way that one group can just block out the other.
In this way, we can deal with large fights almost infinitely. The new faction we're bringing to Albion are the Avalonians. And what an amazing faction it is.
The Avalonians are actually the original lords of Avalon.
They used to be battle brothers of Arthur, lore-wise.
And they were there before the Grand Catastrophe.
So they've been sleeping for a few millennia, and they've now arisen and want to bring Avalon back.
Players will be able to find them in the new Outlands, the place that they shaped themselves.
The player encounters these Avalonians mainly in their hidden vaults, which is our new Elite Dungeon feature.
The players can face them as superhuman, immortal Grail Guardians.
These elite dungeons that are rare to find.
And these are very challenging PvE encounter locations where players will be able to collect valuable rewards.
Among them being the Grail buff, which is a week-long lasting buff that increases all of the progression that you make within that week.
These dungeons are, again, randomized in the layout and cater up to 20 people.
And it will only be the toughest 20 man groups will be able to go through them.
The new features in the Queen update redefine the foundations of playing Albion Online.
We're going a lot further towards what we believe is the actual sandbox environment that Albion Online should be.
And this way, we even make it a deeper experience.
Even as a small guild player, I can now do GVGs. Even as the tiny guild, I can now live in the Outlands. Even as the not so strong PvE player, I can have a look at the Avalonians.
And the players actually see them as their most dangerous opponents ever.
We are giving every individual player even more chances to meaningfully contribute to what is happening in the world of Albion.
Now's the perfect time to take your chance and claim your piece of Albion.
Because you have a completely new world, and it's the best time to start in the guild, because a lot of guilds will probably settle out in the Outlands.
The board is now set. Take the chance to claim your piece of Albion.